what does the king order? He orders the midwives to outright just kill, right? To just kill the babies, basically, during childbirth. But the midwives, it records here, Shipra and Puah, feared God, so they didn't do it. So we need to look at this more deeply, but the first thing I really want to focus on really here is this fear. Why isn't it that the midwives, didn't follow the king? Well, it's because they feared God, the Bible records, and so that's why they didn't do it. So if you look here, you really come to find in the Bible, there are two kinds of fear, right? There are two kinds of fear. And so the first type is the fear against the king. Of course the king is fearful. It's the fear against the king, or in other words, what the Pharaoh represents is the world. We've been talking about it in that way, right? So there's the fear against the king and the fear against the world. And then secondly, there is the fear of God. So what we need to know about the fear of the king and of the world and the fear of God is that these are two completely different things. I mean, they're the same word, I understand it, but the understanding, the spirituality behind that, the heart behind these two words are completely different. They couldn't contrast more. They're really hugely contrasting. Why? It's because the fear of the world, the fear of the king, how is the king? So the kings, especially in those eras, they had all of the power, right? And so, they could chop off the head. I mean, you're gone, right? I mean, that's how powerful the king was. And so if you think about it from the concept of the world, right? I mean, just measurably, quantitatively, you could see the almighty king who with one order could chop off the head of these very lowly midwives. It seems like a huge contrast when it comes to their power. And so because of the contrast in power, you would, of course, fear the world, right? Because of that contrast in power.